Are you due for an oil change and wondering what common mistakes people make during the process? In this video, we'll go over the most frequent errors you might encounter so you know what to avoid when getting it done. Let's get started. The process of changing oil is important because it keeps your engine properly lubricated and cool, which allows it to run smoothly. It also prevents dirt and debris from building up, which can lead to engine wear and damage. Fresh oil also enhances fuel efficiency and overall performance, so when you skip it, it can shorten your engine's lifespan. Now let's take a closer look at the mistakes that can occur during an oil change. 1. Using the wrong oil type. Using oil that doesn't meet your manufacturer's specifications can lead to inadequate lubrication and may even damage the engine over time. This mistake often happens when you choose oil based on price or availability instead of following the guidelines in the owner's manual. To be careful, always check the manufacturer's recommendations for oil type and viscosity, and make sure the oil you choose meets those specifications. It's also a good idea to always look for labels that show the oil meets industry standards. 2. Not changing the filter. Forgetting to change the oil filter can also lead to contaminants circulating in the engine, which reduces the effectiveness of the oil and potentially causes engine damage. This mistake often happens when you think changing the oil alone is enough, or when you overlook the oil filter during the oil change. For you to avoid this mistake, always remember to replace the oil filter whenever you change the oil. Keep a checklist or set a reminder as well to help you remember this important step. Also, make sure to use a good quality filter that meets the manufacturer's specifications. 3. Overfilling or underfilling. Incorrect oil levels can affect your engine performance. Overfilling can cause foaming and reduce lubrication, while underfilling may not provide adequate protection for the engine. This mistake often happens when you don't check the oil level properly or when you pour in too much oil without measuring. To avoid falling for this, always use the dipstick to check the oil level before adding more oil. Also, follow the manufacturer's recommended oil capacity and pour in oil slowly so you can check the level frequently to avoid overfilling. 4. Ignoring oil change intervals. Skipping oil changes or going beyond recommended intervals can also lead to increased engine wear and reduced longevity. This mistake often happens when you forget or overlook the scheduled maintenance, especially if you're not tracking the mileage or the time since the last change. To avoid this, make a habit of checking your oil change schedule and setting reminders based on your vehicle's manual. Keeping a log of oil changes can also help you stay on track and make sure you change the oil at the right times. 5. Improper tightening of drain, plug, or filter. Failing to tighten the drain plug or oil filter properly can cause oil leaks, which will lead to a loss of oil and potential engine damage. This often happens when the plug or filter is either over-tightened or not tightened enough. For you to avoid this, use a torque wrench to ensure you're tightening them to the manufacturer's specifications. After completing the oil change, always check for any leaks to confirm everything is secure. 6. Using old or poor quality oil. Using old oil or oil of questionable quality can reduce its effectiveness and lead to engine wear. This mistake happens when you use leftover oil from previous changes or buy low-quality oil to save money, so only use fresh, high-quality oil that meets your manufacturer's specifications. It's also important to check the oil's expiration date and avoid using oil that's been sitting for too long or stored improperly. 7th, not checking for leaks after. After changing the oil, it's also important to check for leaks around the drain plug and oil filter to make sure they are sealed properly. Always take a few minutes to inspect the drain plug and oil filter for leaks after finishing the oil change, because this helps make sure everything is sealed and prevents oil loss or engine damage. 8. Not using a torque. Wrench over-tightening the drain plug or filter can damage the threads, while under-tightening can lead to leaks. This happens when you apply too much force or tighten parts by hand without measuring. So to prevent this, always use a torque wrench to tighten according to your manufacturer's specifications. This ensures a secure fit, avoiding both damage and potential leaks. There you go. Those are the common mistakes you should always keep in mind when getting your oil changed. We hope you find this video helpful, and you can also let us know what problems you're having with your car by leaving a comment below, and we'll assist that next here on Fix It. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.